Okay, I think we're good. Hello. Um,
My mom went live on accident.
I love it. Yeah, welcome to part 2 of Create the Year, the You, and the Life that you want. We're going to dive in. I know yesterday, kind of a recap, if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, or if you're watching this replay, or if you're watching it live or not. Yesterday, we kind of talked about a lot of the life you want, the life you desire, how you're trying to build things. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Bridget, Liz, Bill, what up? Brian, Jacob, good to see you guys. Man, I wish we could all hang out in real life right now, just like a big group hangout. It'd be amazing. I love you guys. Okay, cool. So, yeah, yesterday, if you weren't on there, I didn't catch all of it yet. We kind of just talking about like creating the year, the life, the you, all of that you desire. This over here was kind of like the quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, the quarters of the year for 2019. And just as a little recap before I kind of dive in further from yesterday, the biggest part of how I create my reality, or how I help clients create the reality, is a combination of both. It's a combination of having that, that spiritual, the feminine, like allowing, the receiving, the manifesting that we're kind of used to with like the secret, think it, feel it, believe it, all that mixed with the kind of like, here's the real world step-by-step kind of more masculine energy of like that logical kind of planning. So it's a combination of both those. So I put a lot out there, create a lot of intention, but at the same token, also I don't have the, how is it, like the like structure of like it has to be this way, this hardness. So I keep it loose. Like there's a lot of amazing things in here that are already happening. Moving to Hawaii, launching the Way Home book, building an album, scaling the telecom company, all these cool things that are out there that are happening, but also kind of like leaving it up to this is how I feel about it, so I think about it, so we want to experience. But letting the rest of it kind of unfold, letting the universe do the other magic part, like the receiving, allowing part, where it can step into it and show up even better than I may be able to actually plan or create or make happen. And so, so that's kind of the cool part. So, yeah, I can't do that right now. So that's what kind of went over yesterday was kind of the 4 quadrants right now. And so you can see I kind of filled in a little bit more on here and was able to do some additional items on top of that. And kind of putting those in there. We did feelings, we did experiences, and we did actions. So the red was the actions, the experiences were in purple, and the feelings were in green, to kind of give us a well-rounded process of creating all that, moving forward with that. And then here, these are covered up now, but underneath these was your current self, your current financials, your current customers, and your current business at the bottom. And you can see this over here is your new avatar that you're going to create, a financial freedom number that gives you the freedom to live the life how you want, where you want, when you want, your dream customer avatar, and then your business by design. And so why I put this one as blank and fresh ones here is, and you can join side note, you can join Unlock the Way Facebook group. It's in the other videos comments. I'm sure someone can comment, post, and share it here as well. But there's worksheets in there that we're going to go over today as well to talk about this. And why this is blank is because this is the current self that you can love, you can like. I love myself, and if you know me, I maybe love myself a little too much sometimes, right? But there's so much work to do as far as releasing and removing, like eliminate to elevate, as you say in the way. So like kind of like drop this excess, thought baggage, emotional baggage, energetic baggage, financial baggage, even, like excess bills that are just out there for whatever reason. So that's what we're going to talk about, is just eliminating this. No matter how much you are in love and everything, it's not about the shame and guilt and trying to hurt or harm any part of that, but allowing it to just kind of release so you can elevate and go up and flap those wings. So so that's what we're going to talk about today, is really go over that, and then it'll help to match up this new avatar with that new life, so that this person that you're going to become, that you are in the inside without all these layers, this financial freedom number that's just waiting for you. Like the saying they used to say is like that bag of money, that freedom, that finances is in the other room. It's literally in the other room waiting for you to be ready to receive it, to walk in and have it. And so we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about that the dream customer that's waiting to work with you. They're waiting there to work with you. They want to work with you, along with that dream business who it's waiting to express through you and come out of you. And so that really is we're going to dive into. But the difference between you here And that life over there is this right here, this set of beliefs that's kind of layered on top, that's baggage on top. And so also today we're going to talk about too some of the worksheets. Some people that want to hop on, if you've got the worksheets in the Unlock the Way Facebook group, or if you don't yet, you can grab them in there. But we're going to have a couple people live on this, and we're going to go ahead and actually do that exercises with them to see that difference between where they are, where they want to be, who they are, who they want to be, or who they truly are going to be, and how to just remove those things. So, and then tomorrow we'll dive into kind of the rest of it as far as modules go, maybe a little bit sneak peek at the end of the day today. And then at the end of this Facebook Live, anyone who watches the rest of it all the way through, I'm going to have a couple of questions. I'm going to be doing some giveaways on here as far as courses, content, social media stuff, some courses I built and different things that friends have had, and sharing those people to kind of give them a kickstart moving forward so they can kind of move forward and keep going. So wrapping up kind of the tail end of where we were, if you have your dream year, right, which is kind of your dream life, because the whole point of that is to not just build a perfect day, like I said yesterday, and I talked to Taylor about it as well. When you're on a cleanse, for example, people talk about having a cleanse and dieting from something, but then they kind of do that yo-yo thing, or like finances, you're really good at your finances, you make a lot of money, and then boom, you spend it or get in debt, or pay off all your debt, and you're clear for a while, and then rack it back up again. Or the same thing again with the diet part. You go on this really healthy 28-day thing, and then you just gorge. Like I did a 20-day cleanse once in 2015, and I remember it was like Thanksgiving at the end of the cleanse, or it was like 4 days till the end of the cleanse, and I just gorged. Like I just was like sugar, candy, like everything you could think of. It was Thanksgiving though, you know, what are you gonna do? But point is that that's not integrating it into a daily, everyday life, a lifestyle, a way of living, a way of being. That's the point of building this year like this, with this avatar and this business and these customers, is so it's not about having a resolution or having this really good month, or that really great month in business, or that really great vacation, or that really great, whatever it is, the health you had at one point. It's about what can you do to become that person that has this life, and that becomes a daily activity for you, an everyday, very easygoing, flowing thing that can just be, in access and flow. So, so we're going to talk about designing that current avatar. So, when it comes to your avatar, the worksheet that we have for that, which is inside of the Way Facebook group, or Unlock the Way, is pretty simple, and it talks about an identity worksheet. So it's inside there. If you want to grab the worksheet, you can. But this is kind of the Corey Gladwell identity. This is what I built in 2017 or 2015 for 2017, and you can see it goes over mission, vision, ideas, everything that's in Unlock the Way as well for you guys to have that yourself. And what I did with that was being able to create like the overview. Who is Corey Gladwell, or who? And I do this for all my clients as well. Like, who is that person that you are going to become, or that you are on the inside that you're kind of let out? Where do they live? What kind of income? What kind of job? How do they feel? What kind of influence do they have? What are the character traits? Like, are you driven? Wakes up at, like one of the notes here, wakes up every day at 5 a.m. each day and is extremely driven, punctual, early to every appointment, is known for being punctual, smart, extremely smart, known to be leading person in consulting and coaching, confident, powerful presence, just all these different things, as well as like body type, style, information. So like haircut, how to dress, accessories, body type, grooming. Again, the vision of the company, the vision of the person, the achievements, the mentors, the brand. This is all for you as a person, or as a brand yourself. Like, who is that identity? And the reason it's good to be able to actually write that out is because you'll see when we go through the worksheets, we're going to remove the attachment you have, as well as the new identity you're going to build, so you can actually have fun with that avatar. You can play with it. The biggest thing that with spiritual work is that we're all kind of, when you get through enough spiritual work, we're all playing a role. We're all playing a character. We're all an avatar, like the movie Avatar. We're all this, like a star of our own movie. And I booked The Human Experience to talk about that, where we are a star in our own show, and everyone else is a secondary character. And sometimes we're the secondary character in their show. When you release the attachment to all those, you can be able to morph and kind of play to a lighter, more fun role avatar and enjoy it a little bit more. So that's really the avatar is who is blank, fill in your name, the mission, like for your person, what's your mission in life? What do you really want? If you don't know that, that's okay. We can work on that as well. But your mission plus your vision, and then like again, character traits. So the character traits, body, hair, style, like all of those items. And then also too, inside Unlock the Way Facebook group, inside there you'll see what's called the Manifestation Journal. And it dives a little bit deeper into the same kind of thing. So this is all kind of intertwined together where you can go over the mental aspects we talked about yesterday. So what are the thoughts? What thoughts do you want to have? And then what will you do to create this mindset? And then like, what are some of the emotions you want to feel most? Like, how do you want to feel most days? How do you want to process your emotions? So good things come up. How do you want to take that in and be grateful for it? Bad things come up. How do you want to actually be able to engage with that energy? When something bad happens and you get really like, and it's like just that trigger point happens. How would you, if you could just choose to change and react how you want to, what would that look like? How would that feel? How would that be? And so, so that's kind of like, what do you want your state current emotion to be? Same with the physical. How do you want your physical body to feel? How do you want it to look? How do you want the shape? Do you want to work out? Do you want to play? What do those things look like for you? And then the spiritual, what do you want your spirituality to look like? The connection you have with that spirituality, how does that engage you? Your connection to God or source or universe or whatever your connection is, your higher self. And then how do you want that expressed through you in your life? And then with relationships, so what kind of romantic relationships do you want? What qualities in your ideal partner do you want? The love languages, how do you feel love? How do you express love? Diving into all that. What would a partner have to balance you out? Do you need space, words, actions? What are those things that kind of match up with you? Friendships, what kind of friendships you want to have? What qualities you have? Again, there's like all of these. And then finances, obviously, the financial freedom number comes into play. Where do you want to get financially? Do you want consistent paychecks or financial freedom? Do you want, current monthly recurring revenue, or do you want big chunks and sums and balance it out? Like, how does that look to you? How does that feel to you? And then, like, again, what would your dream life look like? So the financial freedom number goes into detail about that, and that's the total target monthly revenue, like I talked about yesterday. For us, it was $21,000 per month to be able to play and do anything we want. And so, again, this is more of just like that design, that business. Like for me, the customer avatar is a creative entrepreneur that either has a business and wants to scale it further, that wants to make an impact, or someone that doesn't have a business yet but wants to launch it, but is kind of caring, impactful, empathetic, excited, motivated, passionate, has been through some things and understands that their health, their excitement, their happiness, their joy is in serving others. And that kind of describes my current customer avatar. That is my dream client. And that dream business is serving them, watching them succeed. How do I integrate everything in my business that helps them get to that next level and be able to scale and grow and have the clients and dreams come true for them. So that is that. So to go from who you want to be and the dream life you want to have, you have to situate this. So that's the biggest point of today, is diving into the current person you are. So before I dive into deeply on that exact part, I'm going to talk about some of the worksheets that are inside of Unlock the Way Facebook group, so you can understand a little bit about what that is. And there's a post inside there that talks about identifying the attachment that we have to what we call the little you or the little I. So the thing is, people talk about ego or personality as if it's one thing, and it's really not. The ego and the personality are, can be like 10, 20, or 100 or 1,000 different personalities. And there's all this different ways they sneak around and kind of keep themselves alive. So for example, someone can get really frustrated, right? Because one of the parts of them is getting upset about something and is bothered about something and wants something to go a certain way. And then the part of you that knows you don't want to feel that way can go, oh, I'm really frustrated that I'm feeling that way. Here's the thing, is that frustration that is upset about how you feel about this thing or that person or that place or how you're reacting to this, the frustration part of you that you think is the real you is actually tied to that other personality, that other little you, that little I. Without that version of you getting, like doing this thing and being upset and you actually being frustrated about it, the frustration doesn't exist. So when you let go of the frustration, the resistance part of you that thinks this is my higher self, this is my self that's doing something that wants to change my true self, but is frustrated and upset about this personality over here or this version of you that wants things to go a certain way or to be right or have the answers or have this work out a certain path, they both go away. They both kind of fall away. They can't live without each other. And so I have a lot of those. Right? There's a lot of these worksheets that are built around something I've gone through, my clients have gone through, my friends, my family, all of us. It's kind of like the example of to be a savior, which I always, when I was younger, I wanted to save everyone. To be a savior, not only have to have a victim, but you have to have a persecutor, a judge, right? If you want to be a savior, you're always going to perpetually create a judge or a persecutor and a victim to save, right? So when you realize that, you're like, oh, me being a savior actually is hurting more people. Because my identity as a savior can't exist unless there's a victim to save and someone to make them a victim, to victimize them. So it can get convoluted, it can get a little bit much, even for me and my crazy nonsense in my mind, but how we unravel that and unpack that very simplistically is in Unlock the Way, the Facebook group. And inside there, the whole worksheet is about identifying that. So it goes deeply into why we attach to identities to begin with. And a lot of us already know this. Childhood, things happen, whatever happened, and we grabbed hold of something that was an attachment to make us feel safe, make us feel that we had this reality under control, or it made us fit in, or we got acceptance, or what we thought was love, or whatever that is. And so I'll go through a little bit of this, and then you guys can work on it right now if you want, or grab the worksheet, work on it later. But that's going to help us identify this current self and how to shift or release and eliminate the attachments we have to the current self so we can get to the avatar that we truly want to be, and then have the life that we truly want to have. And so, the part of us that we've programmed to put on a front or a mask to hold back our vulnerability, to hide our true self, and to protect feelings. The identity is created at a young age in our perception of how best to interact with the world around us. During uncomfortable emotional events, that personality gains more strength. When this happens, the development of our true essence is transformed or retarded in a way, and the personality takes over. Our essence is closer to who we truly are, the real uniqueness that we were brought here with. Along the way, we're going to be detaching from this identity, and the mind uses thought that comes from emotion to stop you from seeing your essence, to keep you distracted, moving along, busy. This way you never have to deal with any of those painful moments again. The identity or personality isn't bad. You created it in such a way to escape feelings you couldn't handle at the moment. Now, with that being said, each moment that the little you, or that little identity you have, feels those feelings of discomfort from itself, what's going to happen is it's going to put up another block, another limit, and it's going to kind of keep doing it. So you're very brave for even exploring that. You don't have to go super deep right this second, but being able to dive in, just be aware of that. It'll pop up and you'll see it kind of come up. So to really become aware of these, to identify the belief with the little I, you're going to want to go just start by asking the little you. So this is as a blanket statement. Anytime that you want to know anything about anything, anywhere, and I know this is going to sound completely outlandish from the world we were raised in, you can have the answers to anything. What stock you should pick to invest in, how to heal any part of your body, how to heal anything in your relationship, what the truth is to literally any answer, any question, anytime. And how you do that is, instead of going everywhere else around you for answers, me or anyone else included, is going inward, asking the part of you that needs the answer, the part of you that has the question. As Karina would say, and she's part of the Way group as well, the question only exists because the answer created it, right? So the answer is already there. That's why you even have the question to begin with. And you wouldn't have the question if the answer wasn't there. So you want to ask this part of you that you feel is an identity that is stuck or you want to remove or release. What are you trying to do right now? As in, what is it trying to do? What is it trying to protect or create or hold or have be true? Identify the emotions and the thoughts that are coming up. So everyone can take a moment and kind of like identify that. And then you can show me the first experience when this was created in me. So you can dive in and ask it to show you the first experience when it was created in you. And then what you need to know to understand the situation or people involved. Can you see why someone would do this or behave this way? Can you forgive them or cancel your expectation? And then after that, you kind of want to ask it, what does it need from you to be able to be released, to be able to move forward, to be able to be let go of, and go feel safe to do that. And so if there's anyone who actually wants to do that right inside this live right now, you can. I know that's kind of a lot to do for anyone on the live, but I'll do it with you. There's also ones on anti-aging, on DNA, on time, on your future self. There's all of it included on there. So this is something that the first part is just identifying who you are. And so who you have been, actually is a better way to put it. who you have been. And if this doesn't feel, it doesn't feel super important to figure that out, and if some part of you right now is saying, I'll do this later, it's Saturday night, I'll figure this out eventually, or I know who I am, I'm fine, I like who I am, it's no big deal, I'm fine. If some part of you is feeling that, that's probably one of those little eyes, those little personalities, just feeling like nervous because someone, me or you on the inside, is sensing that that's coming out, that someone's calling it out right now, calling it to come forward. And if it doesn't feel important, I'll just say this. Look back on your life, look back on patterns, look back on loops. These are repeated things that we do in relationships, in friendships, in finances, in family, and whatever. Look back generationally, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and your own life itself, and how you dealt with interpersonal relationships, how you dealt with, again, money, business, life, experiences. If there is anything in there that seems to repeat itself, this is why. Because there's a part of us that lives only if we continue that behavior. It lives only if we repeat that same thing. And I'll give an example of myself. I have been poor, I've been rich, I've been depressed and suicidal, I've been happy and enlightened and full of love. I've had all these range of experiences in 32 years. In relationships, I've dodged and ran when things got uncomfortable. Vulnerability was never something I really wanted to do. Being able to step into a lot of those things and actually communicate clearly when things get uncomfortable. Same with business. If it's like, this doesn't work perfectly, I'm out, I don't want to do it. If I feel like my identity was attached to it, I would stop. There's so many layers to these things, but you can start to see how us wanting to not verbally communicate these things, not open up, not confront it, even with ourselves, can be something that can repeat itself. So my example of that is when I was 18 years old, I had a really high GPA in school, a high IQ. It was great. I didn't want to attend. I didn't want to go to school anymore. I couldn't do it. I was partying a lot. I quit doing drugs, quit drinking, all that stuff. I decided to drop out and get my diploma, get into real estate, and get clean off drugs and alcohol, and just kind of like, do the things. After a few years of real estate, built that up, made some good money, decided that from there I would buy a nightclub, a restaurant, a vodka brand, which I had written down when I was 17. I wanted to manifest that when I was 17. So it wasn't like I was just randomly did it. I wanted to do that forever. But like I mentioned yesterday too, I hadn't thought through what that experience would feel like, who I would be, what it would be like if I would stay clean, for example, if I would have the right relationship, the right friendship, financially, what I would do once I had that amount of money. So I got there, and then one thing led to another, sabotage, drug addiction, fighting, unhealthy relationships, sicknesses, broke apart in every way. And so when I restarted again and reached that 3 weeks of enlightenment in January 2012 and had this love and this oneness and this bliss and was able to kind of meditate and build my life up again, I did it all the way again, another 5 years. So 18 to 23, built everything up, 2 years crashed. And then from 2012 to 2017, built it all up. And then last year decided to smash as much as I could. Now, luckily, been through this before, so I didn't do it all the way. I didn't go all the way. I didn't wait 2 years. I didn't do all these insane kind of things that I could have done to the degree I did them then. Still was insane in a lot of ways, but rebuilding that up and really looking at, okay, what is it that doesn't want me to have that? Or what is it that doesn't know what it's going to do when it has that life? So kind of like with money, a prime example. When we have a certain amount of money we're used to having, we will find a way to spend that money if we get more than it. If we have a certain amount of money or a certain amount of happiness we're used to having, we have that cap level of happiness, of joy, the sabotage level that we always create, where if we don't know who we will become or where that energy, that excess energy that's used to us struggling and fighting and trying to make a relationship work but it's not really working, or trying to make money work but it's not really working, or there's always an issue, always something to fix, this addiction to the struggle people talk about having. If we actually don't address that and take that energy and focus that in something that we want to build, that we know that we'll be able to use and be alive in a healthy sense, or release it if it's no longer useful, then no matter how long we think we're without it, it will creep back in another way and sabotage or get us back down that level, or find a way to push and pull and make the relationship stuck at that level, or make the money stuck at that level, or the business stuck at that level, or the health stuck at that level. You ever see someone who's sick and then they get rid of one sickness, another sickness pops up? They have another sickness, they heal that, another something pops up, or they deal with this issue, there's another issue, and they're just always a constant thing, that's an addiction to a personality. And our personality, as Joe Dispenza would say, creates our personal reality. And so that's why we have to go over this. So who you have been, and that's, again, identifying that, like, who is that person? So who have I been? Who have you been? I don't even know who I am, honestly, but who have you been? And then from there, the who have you been is going to be tied to your money. So, and this could be like, how do you spend? It sounds cool. You spend. Any questions or anything?
No.
No? Okay, cool. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. But yeah, so the money part, this is tied to the money, right? Financial freedom number. How do you spend? And you can see, again, that's where you can find these things. Try to find out a simple way to kind of say the correlation here.
Well, like who you've been, how much you feel worth, like your value.
Yeah, well, like I'm trying to think of how that correlates. So I know how it correlates. Trying to figure out a simple way to kind of share that with you guys. So, like, prime example is if you've been okay. So, ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say happy, angry. It's like all the sleeping. What is those? Sleep the dwarfs. Yeah, happy, angry was a lonely tired. Happy, angry, excited. The motivator. Motivated / builder. Okay. Let's see. Healer. The healer is another one. Healer, spiritual. Okay. So I'm going to go over a couple of these that I think are pretty relatable, that aren't extremes for anyone, but I think are pretty simplistic to us to kind of all dive in. Happy. Who you have been. If you've been happy, right, you can raise your hand. We've all been happy at some point, right? So, like, it's good to be happy. It's not a bad thing to be happy. It's good to be sad. It's not a bad thing to be sad. Like, you can feel whatever you want to feel. So, again, there's no judgment on how your emotions have been, or even the actions or behaviors around them. So, let's remove all the judgment. But if you've been happy, and it's been tied to certain things, so like your happiness is tied to happiness equals money deposited, right? Or like paid, right? Which this is a big one for me, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that likes getting paid. So every time I wake up and there's like more money in my account, or I get like a PayPal notification, ding ding, I'm like, woo, it's like a little high, right? And I think that's probably true for all of us. I mean, if it's not, then, you know, send it this way, you know, but no, like, I had to. But yeah, so what is your money tied to, right? So, or what is your happiness tied to? If your happiness is tied to money being deposited, if you can't see that, by the way, I can like walk around with the computer and look like a crazy man, or switch to my phone, maybe. But happy equals money deposited or being paid. Happy equals PayPal notification. Happy equals the joy after a fight, like makeup sex, right? Or like all these different things, right? That sound totally fine, and aren't, like, again, there's no bad judgment, but if that's what your happy equals, until you normalize that kind of joy, like you normalize that amount of like money coming in every morning, every day, then it won't. Or if you until you normalize having amazing sex all the time, every day, you're going to cause fights so you can have great makeup sex. If you're not used to having the money come in every day, you're going to find ways to like make yourself kind of go broke, so you have to build back up again to get that new deposit. Does that kind of make sense? Am I making sense on that? Okay. Same thing with the anger, right? So it's like, what does the happiness get us? And the anger and all this kind of, these kind of thing, we're like, we can understand and like break down, like, oh, I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be sad. Like, we have these, for whatever reason, our society has this judgment on these are the good emotions, these are the bad emotions. And like, no emotions are good or bad. They're all there for a reason, right? Like, we're feeling happy because something makes us happy. We're feeling sad because something makes us sad. It's just like when someone sneezes and we're like, ugh, like, it's not like we don't like the person. It's just really biologically, our bodies are evolved to not want to get sick. So someone sneezes or is sick, we're like, I don't feel good about that. We walk away. We do that with certain things that we think are going to damage us, but we don't realize that there's so many things that we deem as good that don't really actually help us and can hinder us. And so another one is like the healer or the spiritual healer, right? I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but trying to be the empathetic, or not trying, a lot of us are just born, empaths. So being empathetic and trying to heal, and we feel like we're taking on others' energies, we're transmuting this for the world and helping our friends and our family, and there's like thousands of years of ancestral debt that we are surrendering, and like I know I'm totally making fun of it, but I've been there. That's why I can make fun of it. I'm making fun of myself, not you if you're doing that. And we're all doing that, whether we want to or not. You're here, so it's not a choice. But when I try to own that as an identity, and I start having that as like I'm the spiritual healer, or I'm the motivated builder, like I'm the motivated guy, like which is obviously is a big one, because like for me, both those, being a spiritual healer, I get kudos for everyone I know, like my family and something like that too. Society now, especially in like Southern California, right, or the whole West Coast, like you're like doing big things with your life if you're like in the spiritual healing space. Same with like the motivated builder, right? If I'm motivated and I'm building or all this kind of stuff, like me even being excited right now, like I feel good and excited and doing this, but it's not from a place of I'm gonna get shit done or I'm gonna like do that kind of thing and build, because like if I even attach to that as an identity, right? Now from there, I'll always try to find something to build. And guess what? If I have nothing to build, I'll ruin what I have so I can build. I'll climb the ladder, get to the top of success and happiness and joy, and chop that motherfucker down, and then fall back down again so I can climb back up. That's what we all do. And the spiritual healer, guess what? If everyone's healed, you won't know who you are. You'll break yourself. You'll implode. If there's nothing wrong with anyone else, you will like literally kill yourself trying to find pain to heal, right? So that's the like almost backwards kind of thing about this world, this universe, this reality, is that it's an inverted parallel. It's an upside down world, like Stranger Things about the upside down, right? There's so many things that are backwards. None of these things are good or bad. None of these feelings, happy, sad, angry, lonely, all the friggin' dwarfs of Sleeping Beauty, none of them are bad to have. And the thousands of mini, micro, subtle energies around that aren't bad to have. But when you can identify how attached you are to these things as who you are, right? Because this false personality around this, like this isn't God, soul. Okay, so there's layers and layers. I know you probably can't see from there, but big circle around says false personality. Then it says essence or soul, and then it says real self, and there's a God in the center of it. All this false personality, all that means is when we're attached to the feelings and then the experience and the actions and things that happened to get us those feelings, we stay stuck in that loop, which is like the definition of hell, right? Like repeating the same kind of thing. Like hell can come in any form, just so people don't understand. Like I'm not like gonna go into like heaven, hell type thing, but like it could be like the guilt and shame. It could be you getting everything you want over and over again. That can be torture to some people, right? It could be you never getting anything you want, or almost getting it, losing it, or dying or living, or it could be anything. Being immoral could be hell, or it could be never being able to live could be hell. Like it's all unique. Like it's more of a metaphor, not so much a hell as in like you're gonna go down in something, but like a mental, emotional, energetic state. This addiction to these emotions that we have and these actions that equate that are what can cause us to repeat those loops over and over again. And so that false personality that we attach to, it's not about never having one. It's about just not being attached to it, letting the true essence and soul kind of come through. And then as we're building this new avatar, right, we can play with it. It's fun, it's light, it's free. We can be the motivated builder, we can be the healer, we can be excited, we can be happy, we can be angry, sad, whatever. But it's like a quick thing. Like, and the ascension process or the ascending or going to higher levels or elevating to higher dimensions is really, really about getting there. Is the fastest way you can transmute things, the faster you can kind of go up and get to this life you want, right? And build everything that you've wanted and desired. It's just literally seeing what's blocking it and removing it and the attachments we have to those. So as I mentioned, if you're a spiritual healer, I'll give an example, no one needs healing, you don't know who you are, you're lost. And what will happen is either you get yourself sick or you'll hurt everyone else around you. Even if you're trying to do that good thing, right? If you're a savior, you're going to save, you'll cause a person to be a victim. So you can now save them, which is like a mind fuck. But that's exactly what happens with a lot of these addictions. So our feelings and our beliefs around them, that usually stem to some childhood thing, that we all had at some point. So, and then that ties to the money, same thing. The money blueprint that we kind of have. And I know T.R. Recker, I mentioned yesterday, has a little example about his wife they talked about, which prevented him from doing the financial freedom number because his wife, when she was younger, would go to, this is how these identities get built. It's as simple as this. So this is a great story analogy for this. His wife, when she was younger, would go to her mom and say, Mom, I would like some ice cream. You know, ice cream man truck. Mom, can I get some money for some ice cream? And then her mom would say, honey, your dad has all the money. And she would go, okay. She'd go to her dad, ask her dad, hey, Dad, can I have some money for ice cream? He would give her exactly what she needed to buy the exact ice cream she wanted, exact amount of money, ice cream she wanted. She would go get the ice cream, boom, had her like instant joy, pleasure, excitement. This happened week after week after week. So it wasn't this major, huge, tragic event that like happened all at once. It was a series of events, little tiny events that don't seem on the surface like a negative thing. But her hearing that from her mom and then going to her dad and then getting the exact amount of ice cream, she grew up to believe, like without any kind of negative connotation, men have all the money and whatever she's given in money, she should spend right away for instant pleasure and leave nothing left. That's totally conscious. This is a fine belief for her. And not that it's a bad thing. In fact, that's fine. That's your belief for anyone else's. But that kind of prevented them from moving forward because he was the opposite. He was like, we're saving for the future. We're building this thing. We're building this life, all this sort of stuff. So the thing what ends up happening is that every time she would go to the mall, spend all the money, or go here, spend all the money, to him it was a direct insult and overriding everything he was doing for his life and for the family and the kids. And the same thing for her. Every time he would say, no, don't buy that. No, let's save that money. Let's not spend it. He was overriding her entire existence, her life, her beliefs of love and everything like that. So those little tiny things, even if everyone thinks they're right, everyone is right in that sense because their beliefs are what can cause so many like divorces, separation, marriages, bankruptcies, physical illnesses, all this sort of stuff. Those are good examples. So how do you spend your money, right? What does your money do for you? What are you getting out of it? What's the attachment around that, right? So a good one to kind of go over, and again, these are all inside the Unlock the Way Facebook group, is we have an income ceiling worksheet. So if you guys can see that, I'll kind of get that a little closer there. That's a little sloppy. Same with you guys over there, a little sloppy. But this is in Unlock the Way Facebook group. It's free to join, so you can hop in there and grab it if you want. But what is my income ceiling? And so again, when we're doing this, there's a tune-in worksheet there talking about tuning in. When we're doing this, we're asking the questions directly to the part of us that has the answer to it. The answer is what creates the question. So if you're asking the question, the answer already exists. So tune into the part of your body. If you have something in your arm, tune into that part of your body and ask it what it needs. If it's money, like this income ceiling worksheet, tune into your money. Tune into your higher self. Tune into your money, the energy of money for you, whatever that is, right? And ask it the questions. What is my income ceiling? Look back on your whole life. What's the most you've ever made in a month? Most you've ever made in a year? And like, what is that ceiling? And you can see that this pattern, does it kind of go up and go down? You make more sometimes and it smashes again. You kind of consistently stay at like, 50,000, 100, 200, 500. What does that look like? And what is that pattern around that? We'll get to that. But what beliefs do I need to remove to raise this? So what beliefs do I need to remove to raise this? So a big one for me, that I had to remove to get my income to go up. And even though my income was good, like for 4 or 5 years in a row, it was $250,000 or more, $250,000 to $300,000. I was like, cool, this is totally good. I like this. And I was totally fine with it. But I was like, okay, I need to work on that because I'm going to find a way to either make more and sabotage it and stay there, or just spend it all or get rid of it because I couldn't feel like keeping money was a thing. So what beliefs do I need to remove to raise this? I was able to look at that and realize that I had beliefs in there such as money is an exchange of value. Which, I mean, how many of us, that sounds like a great, like, PT, spiritual life coach, right? What I do for a living creates the value that I have, and then I'm rewarded for that by the service I provide, and like, I'm not insulting when I've been one of those people just parodying someone from Big Sur and Echelon that actually created all this abundance life coaching stuff here everywhere, like 30 years ago, from Landmark to everything else. One guy, 30 years ago, created all this stuff that we live by now. So Not that it's a bad thing, but again, that repeated stuff, that's a belief, because now I feel like, what if I don't feel like I'm of value? Even if I'm like right now, like Bertrand was inside the Facebook group and said, you're giving thousands of dollars away in value, like you're giving the whole house away, blah, blah, blah. People pay thousands for this, and I am for a reason. But what if I didn't feel this was of value? Like, what if the core in me didn't, the core of the core, what if I didn't feel this was of value? I love that I make myself laugh at least. What if I didn't feel that way, then what would happen is, even if like I sold this and everything else and package it up and sell it off, what's gonna happen is I'll either get the money and then spend it, or like ruin it, or do something because I don't feel like I'm deserving of that, because I don't feel this is value, or I won't even sell it at all. Like how many people have built things and not sold it? Right? How many people have built courses, programs, coaching, books, like a job, a business, whatever? We've all had dreams. I've had like a water bottle company, like friggin' a clothing line I wanted to start, because we just didn't feel there was a value inherent in what we were doing, or whatever belief that was. But if we don't feel that we are of value or this is of value, we can't receive the income for that. So that belief that sounds totally PC, money is an exchange of value, is actually telling me that like I still have to remove, because if I just don't feel a value, I should still be able to receive as much money as I want for work that is valuable to other people, even if it's not valuable to me anymore. What reasons am I holding myself to this limit? So again, you can tap in and like tune in and ask, like, what reasons am I holding myself to this limit? Kind of feel that, feel through what that is, see what those answers are. It can be that, prime example, again, like the Taylor Acker has a great point of this. This woman her dad died of a heart attack while her parents were arguing about money. She tried to resuscitate him, he died, she couldn't make it. So then she later became a nurse and then decided to, every time she made a certain amount of money, like right around what she was making then, she would like spend it, blow it, do whatever. It was decent money, but she always found a way to get rid of it. And because in her mind, she associated money with pain, right? And so again, there's tons of beliefs you have as money. People with money are greedy, selfish, tons of stuff you can go over with that. But and this is another one. Show me who I am in relation to money. Show me who I am in relation to money. That's a good one. Who am I in relation to money? Like, what is that? Do I feel like I am money? I feel like I'm pretty money, but I don't know if I feel that way all the time. Am I a like receiver of money? Am I a giver of money? Do I have to work really hard for money? Am I the whatever? So when I started going through this a little bit more and understanding the ego components, how do I change this? What else I need to know? There's some additional ones there. What I was able to like really uncover with that was, for me, this might not be the same for you, but how I shifted my money beliefs and allowed money to just come whenever without having the super pumped up like, oh my God, every single time excitement as much, or like sabotaging or spinning it or blowing it, was I realized for me the belief that I could put in there that was full. The truth of that is that I am from that God source, and that means I'm the creator of all my reality. That means I am the creator of the universe in which I live, which means that everything within that universe, i.e. like planets, stars, the moon, the sun, everything within that is from my creation, is from a part of me, that God source part of me, which means that everything on this planet would be from me, which means, or is me, right? And so from there, which means money, which is from this planet, and in this planet, and in this universe, right? If I am of the universe, of God, and within God, and all of it is one, I am money. So I am the creator of the value of money. I am the one that says money even has value. If I stop valuing money, if the whole world stops valuing money, we just barter out of nowhere, which we tried before, then again, guess what? The money goes away. The US dollar has no backing, go to all this whole thing, Bitcoin and currencies. But the whole point is that if we don't value something, we don't actually use it, it holds no value, it goes away. So when I get back to I am the creator of the value of money, I'm able to release my attachment to having to have money to feel like I am of worth, or having to spend money to feel like I can be happy, or having to buy someone something to receive love, or having to receive money to feel love, right? How intertwined that can go if I just say, I'm the one that creates the value of that. Do I want to give it value? What value do I want to create of that? And this goes deeper into every belief, like every attachment that we have, every personality, every trait we honor and we feel is of value and moral, everything that we hate and that we despise, and person that upsets us or behavior or anything, all those things only exist because we say they exist. They only have value because we give them value, right? If someone's an asshole, they're only an asshole because you consider them an asshole and you have that value, even if it's an anger value or annoyance value, you have that to give them. The demons, the attachments, everything we have, good, bad, light, dark, only exists because we exist. When we die, when we close our eyes, when we let go of the attachment to anything, it no longer exists. Even if we just release how we feel about it, it no longer exists. So that's a big part to do with money, because as long as you have an attachment in a good or negative way to it, of like receiving love or appreciation or value, you're going to keep kind of bouncing back and forth. The next one is some business ones that I don't know where I put it. Oh, right there. Okay, so again, you can do these with the money, with the with the money, with the personality, all these things, the customer avatar that you can't read on here, all this stuff. So customer avatar worksheet, all that's in there, and then the business. So real briefly, I'll just kind of stop going on to specific ones and just kind of talk a little bit about this entire process, who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and what you feel you're rewarded by doing it. That's the summation of the life you have. And this includes your relationships, family, friends, everything, internal, external, the thing you do for business or your work or your job, whatever that is, whatever customers you actually help or serve or don't or hate or love, and the reward you feel you get, or the exchange of value, we all say we get, aka money, currency, for doing all that and being all that. There's a relationship you have to each one of those. There's a relationship to yourself, to each personality, to each emotion, to each thought, to each state of being that you have, to money, to the things you get from money, for money, the things you do for money. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be too extreme or whatever. I'm gonna go super or whatever, but and then the customer you're serving. There's an attachment there. There's a relationship there, and so when you dive into the relationship you're feeling with each one of these, the simplest way to address these, again, is probably going to Unlock the Way, the Facebook group. If not, to go into the relationship you have with them. And so if you want to close your eyes and look into the relationship with each category of your life, and then ask the following questions. Who am I in relation to, and then blank, money, love, family, romance, health, my body, time, aging, friendship. Who am I in relation to blank? And allow that answer to come through. And then what is the energy of blank in relation to me? So what is the energy of love, money, friends, family, body, health, time, whatever those things are? What is the energy of blank in relation to me? And then write that down, let that come through. And then what are the causes of glitches in my blank? My money, in my family, in my romance, in my love, in my health. What are the causes of glitches in my blank? Then write that down. And then how can I optimize my relationship to blank? Again, you can insert whatever that is for you. How can I optimize my relationship to money, time, energy, romance, love, health? How can I optimize my relationship to? And allow that answer to come through. And the next one is, what are my attachments to blank? What are my attachments to money? What are my attachments to health, to vanity, to love, to success, to friendship, to acceptance, to freedom, to status, to whatever? What are my attachments to blank? And there's an attachments worksheet that's in the Unlock the Way. You can kind of have some extras in there, but usually something will come up. And if you just clear your mind and allow the first answer to kind of come through, it'll come in. And then we got 2 left here. What societal beliefs am I still holding on to about blank? So what societal beliefs am I still holding on to about love, money, health, happiness, joy, body, time, any sickness, anything, right? What societal beliefs am I holding on to about? Am I still holding on to about? And you can list in there societal, schooling, family, parenting, friends, whatever those things are. What are those societal beliefs am I still holding on to about blank? And then you can kind of ask your higher self, your God, your soul, your whatever you want to call it, what are the soul components of blank? So there's always an ego and a soul component. There's a personality identification to it, which is the attachments we just went over. Then there's a soul component, something that's more connected. It's trying to help you wake up with something. So again, so who am I in relation to? That's the who am I in relation to worksheet. And so it's really exciting to kind of see people be able to do that and go through it and some of the healing we've had with that worksheet. I think it's one of the biggest ones because inside there's a whole lot to unpack. Again, why I say these are all a relationship, because everything is a relationship. This whole universe, and I was it almost 7? Cool. We got like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. I'll wrap up and shut up for now. This is me all day with no one here, you guys, just so you know, like even if Taylor's gone or friends are gone, I'm just with the dog, like dark, no camera even, just the neighbors yelling at me. This whole reality is a relationship. So why relationships are so like pull out everything in us, right? Like people, I see people that get like people that are totally like, I got everything figured out, totally good, like everything, life's amazing. I'm single, I have the best health of my life, time, freedom, space, money, everything. Nothing wrong with that, and you've worked on everything, everything's great, then get in a relationship. And we'll see what happens, right? Because like, that's when stuff gets pulled out. That's when you're like, oh, I'm no way deal. And our instant reaction, right, is like, well, if I was alone, this wouldn't happen. But yeah, like if you were alone, then like you would do that to yourself, or you would want to be somewhere with someone else, or you would fight with the volleyball like Wilson, Tom Hanks. Like you'll find something, right? But every relationship teaches us those things, like interpersonal, friendships, romantic, business, everything is a relationship, and we are able to understand more and more about ourselves because it's a training ground for being a creator of your life, no longer being a victim of your life and your reality, because this whole reality is a relationship. You and your reality, you and the universe, you and God. This is a relationship. Like this is what reality is. It's a relationship between you and it. And so like the great analogy Taylor said when I was talking about this with her is that it's so intertwined. When you breathe out, the universe is breathing in, right? You breathe in, it's breathing out. That's the connection with this reality you're in. And so the better that you can have that understanding, or at least awareness of the relationship with yourself, the relationship with others, the relationship with your emotions, your thoughts, your money, your customers, your business, the better you can like really release those attachments. And then again, from there, step into the avatar you are, the financial freedom number that is right in front of you, just waiting to be had, the ideal dream customer that you think isn't enough of, like, oh, I wish I only could have more than 1 or 2 or 5 or 10, whatever. You can have 100% of those customers all the time, every day. Help clients get there. I think I had a client we launched the program, there was like 13 perfect customers in 24 hours. Like it wasn't that, and it was like just do, set up, boom, done. All because of the understanding of like who they were and what they really wanted and who they wanted to serve and where they want to go, help them understand the perfect ideal customer and how that business was, like who they serve and how they serve, how that felt completely connected and flowing. And then the messaging was right and the business was identified and how they're helping and who they're helping and why. And then it's very simple. Everything, it's just like a snowball. And now you just step into that exact life that you want or desire or are going to have. So, but the only way to do that, again, and have it be longevity, is to identify the relationship you have with every emotion, every thought, everything, and then release it and step into the new you for the new year, you know? I hate that saying so much. I do. So yeah, so I think that's it for now. So I think for today, I'm gonna wrap up with a little bit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop on and ask away. Again, Unlock the Way, the Facebook group, there's tons of worksheets in there already. I'm gonna add a ton more. It's all part of the Way Home book, my 4th book coming out either end of January, beginning of February, and then the Way program is coming out this following week. There's a whole program we have. It's like 12 weeks, 12 modules, same with the 12 chapters of the book. That's more supportive and encouraging, exciting, where we don't just do all the kind of planning and business building and person building, but actually have all the tools necessary, every single thing you could think of. There's not one thing you have to go somewhere else to get. That was a big part that we wanted to have there. Also, we're adding a lot of things in that will actually cut your personal costs down, your business costs down, to where by joining the program, you actually save more money than you would ever spend with us. So that's the kind of paradigm shift that we're all about these days. So, so yeah, and again, Unlock the Way Facebook group, everything in there right now, the worksheets, everything is free. So like I said, Bertrand was talking about this, where he's like, you're giving away the farm, blah, blah, $1,000. I am. Like, there's people that have paid $1,000 for this already in the past, from others, from myself, from different versions of these kind of things. And I'm not opposed to any of that, but like I talked to my business partner, Jeff, about, I would rather have working with us and the support and the excitement of working together and doing it together be so valuable and unique to working with us that we can give everything away, all the tools, all the trainings, all the worksheets and everything, and you can do it yourself and get the help, and we would love you to do that. And excited, we'll support you over here if you want with us. If you want to do it yourself, it's free, go do your thing. If you want to join us, it's not this insane amount, but it's enough to have us dedicate our time to be able to do that. And that's kind of our thought process, is give it all away for free, and then if you want to work with us, the value should be inherently there, and it should want you to get there, whatever level you're at, whether it's broke or it's multiple millions. There's a way to integrate that so everyone can afford it and get something from it, get excited and build and move forward. So, but before I leave off, what we're going to do, see if I can turn this a little bit. Is it that way or this way? Yeah, that way. Over here is the way home, right? The way. And so this is the 12 modules. This is the 12 chapters, the 12 weeks, the 12 everything of the book and the program and everything that goes through every 3 months. So the end of each quarter, we have a retreat that we'll be holding this year. Will be in Hawaii at the end of March. And then we have, again, the 12 weeks of support, encouragement, everything. This, I'm going to give this all away for free tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time again, and then kind of review the rest of this. I'll add the rest of the worksheets and Unlock the Way, the Facebook group. Unlock the Way, the Facebook group. I gotta talk slower so my brain can catch up, or vice versa. You can see Cahal was on there. He knows, he gets it. So yeah, all of that's in there. The work's in there. If you want to get started, you want to go through that and kind of like ask those questions. You can join the group for free. Kind of go through the worksheets. You can question inside the group. We can all work together. You can message me personally if you want to ask questions there. And then as we kind of go through all of that deeper, we're going to go through building all of this tomorrow, and that will be your next 3 months. So how to take your exact dream life that we built yesterday, and we kind of went through, and then your like the actual activities, things, everything that you can see filled out. Your dream self, your financial freedom number, your customer avatar, your business by design, who you have been and who you've been serving, and then again shifting all that. And now the next 3 months, here's what you can do to incorporate that every single day. So it's not a claim. This isn't a live training you did yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and then you're like, cool, new year. I'm going to be a new you. I'm going to run for a mile for 5 days and eat nothing but carrots, and then I'm going to gorge on Cheetos afterwards and spend all my money. So I haven't done that ever. But yeah, so that way you can actually incorporate it as a daily thing. What are those things that you can work on day in and day out? What is that process? Don't feel overwhelmed by the worksheets or everything that's included in the Facebook group, because again, this is a 3 month process that cycles through every 3 months, and you go to a retreat, and then we do the next the next 3 months, next 3 months. So you continually up level. And I mentioned yesterday, and then on this note I'll end. Like I said before, I've done $250,000, 300,000 before for several years, and then had to elevate that. Before that, I've done like 50,000 and had to elevate that. This year, some of our goals are, this is just the financial part, but also like emotionally, mentally, physically, this all applies. Some of our goals are over $200 million for one of our companies. And so I know there is no freaking way I'm going to be able to allow myself to even be a part of that or do that, or wouldn't have earlier this year if I hadn't been doing what I'm doing. If I hadn't been building up. So I continually, daily, allow myself to release and eliminate so I can elevate some of the business ideas I have, the concepts I have, the money things I have, the health things I have, the relationship things I have, the work things like again, there's so much that we can unpack. All those worksheets that are inside the Unlock the Way Facebook group and all of the stuff in there is a 3-month process that is all free inside there, worksheet wise. And then when we do it together, we go to the retreat at the end of the quarter, and then we do it another time, and then we do it another time. And so, because there's new levels, right? Like if I would have found this program, which is why I built everything I've ever done for someone like me, for myself, to do, which is what I love doing. If I would have had this 2 years ago, I would have gone to a whole other level, right? And then I would have still done it right now to go to this new level, and so on. And so that's kind of the process. So we're going to give you the exact roadmap after that, to all these worksheets to go and kind of continue this own daily thing and build it up and have it yourself. And we'll do that tomorrow, Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Any questions, let me know. As always, love you guys. Excited. Thanks for joining me. If it's for a little bit or just the long term, the extra giveaway stuff I mentioned is going to be inside of Unlock the Way Facebook group. Besides the worksheets, there's some other stuff I'm going to toss in there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. The replay will be up. For 24 hours. The next one will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. That replay will be up for 24 hours. And then I'll probably take all these down and then make some kind of cool thing and boost them somewhere or something. But any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon.